My name's Dan. I run a YouTube channel I like to call Backcountry Builds. I'm in the Army, but in my off time, when I'm not hanging out, I like to fix stuff. Lots of stuff. Anything with an engine. Most of this is made possible with my 2017 Ram 1500. Why am I making this video? I've noticed there's not really any 4th gen lift kit reviews out there, especially for 1500s within the 4 to 8 inch range. Now, I've put over 60,000 miles on this truck with a 6-inch Fabtech Lift Kit, and I've owned it for over 3 years, and I just wanted to discuss and provide an in-depth review on this lift kit. I'm going to be speaking specifically about the 2013 to 2018 Dodge/Ram 1500 4-wheel drive 6-inch basic and performance systems. The part number for this is FTS 23040 or 23040I. I'm going to be breaking this review down into 5 main categories: price, clearance, appearance, reliability and quality, usefulness and limitations, and some stories from my experience with this truck and the lift kit installed. And then just a couple other tips that I've learned and things to look out for. So our first category is price. I paid about $1,000 for this lift kit back in 2019. Nowadays they go for anywhere from $1,050 to about $1,300 for the kit alone. I had this kit installed by a shop. It was about $1,000 for the install. That enabled me to buy the 35-inch tires that I'm going to get into here shortly. Those cost about $1,500 back in the day, and then I paid about $100 to $150 for the wheel spacers I decided to put on it. In order to run stock wheels, you're going to need shims, which I'll get into shortly. As for clearance, I'm running 35s. They're 12.5 inches wide on a 20-inch rim. As I said earlier, I like to run stocks because I like the way they look on these trucks. In order to run stocks on this particular lift kit with the tires I had chosen, I'm going to need a minimum of a 1/4-inch shim. I just picked these up at AutoZone, and you can find ones that allow you to use them for multiple different lug patterns. And it's just a 1/4-inch shim, and you sacrifice a small portion of your lug in order to space your wheel outward. I actually chose to purchase 1.5 inch hub-centric spacers, which are probably not recommended by anyone, but they look fantastic, and it adjusts the offset. I really like the look. As for clearance, when it comes to steering, I have had no issues rubbing. I didn't have to chop my fenders or trim any plastic or anything of that nature. I know some guys that are running 6-inch lift kits on these 1500s, and they're able to fit 37s. I think that's generally with chopping. So, all right, as for the appearance, I think it gives this truck an aggressive stance. You know, with 6-inch lift, stuffing 35s under these trucks, it looks different than the diesel 2500 heavy duties. It kind of looks like the old Ram, 2nd gens with the sport bumpers. It just looks different. I think that with this style lift kit, it looks classy and special, and it's sort of unoriginal. There's lots of guys out there that are running way back when the 20x12 deals and spacing everything all out. I think that these lift kits give you just enough so you can stuff 35s under and make your stock looking truck give a more rugged appearance. Pretty cool in my opinion. All right, on the topic of reliability and quality, I did not install this lift myself. I did not have the time when I elected to buy this truck and have the lift kit installed. I didn't have a lift, and I was 21 years old and probably wouldn't have had enough time to make it to my first duty station in time based on the timeline I had. So I'm happy to say that I have had next to no issues over the course of 60,000 miles. I can't speak to other brands, just Fabtech. That's the purpose of this review. But I've had 2 issues that I can spell out right away. I received a correctable mud flap ticket due to my exposed tread in Alaska. And occasionally in super dry climates, the sway bar that comes with this whole setup, I believe it is it is the aftermarket one, is a little squeaky. So I had to drop that sway bar bushing down and put some silicone grease in there, and it made the squeak go away. Other than that, I've had no ball joint issues, no squeaks, no rattles, nothing falling apart. Not a terrible ride, just overall super good. I just get in the truck and I drive it, and I have no problems. All right, usefulness and limitations. So I bought this lift kit for my truck strictly for looks. I had no intentions of going off-roading or doing any form of intense overlanding. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing I can't do in my normal lifestyle that a stock Ram 1500 with some winter tires couldn't handle. With that being said, the ground clearance is an added bonus. I've only ever driven lifted vehicles, so maybe I've had the benefit of having that ground clearance, but I have never been stuck. Even in deep snow, I always seem to be the guy pulling people out with this truck. So with regards to limitations and usefulness on fuel efficiency, I had this truck for a short period of time when it was stock, and it got about 20 miles per gallon, maybe about 19 around town and up to 22 on the highway. Now lifted with tires and the whole shebang, the truck gets about 15 around town, and I've seen it get anywhere from 18 to 19 on the highway with the 35s, which is not bad for what it is. So one thing I like to discuss is other drivers, right? So say your friend or your family member or your significant other needs to drive your vehicle. Is it possible? Yes. So my fiance, I think there's a couple pictures throughout this slideshow that you'll see of her. She's about 5'3", and she has no issues with the height or visibility. She can jump in this truck and drive it just like it's a stock Ram. The only real difference that I notice is because of the rack and pinion steering setup with this kit, it's a little more sensitive with your steering inputs, and you have a decreased steering angle in parking lots due to the change in geometry. So it might take you swinging one or two more times in order to get into a tight spot. But other than being up higher than normal in a truck, she said it was no different than driving her dad's Duramax in high school. So when it comes to towing, this 1500, my specific one, does not have airbags, but it has coils in the back. So there's a couple pictures you're going to see in here. I'll put them in here now of this truck towing. So you'll see that it has coils in the back, and whenever I load it to about over 4,000 pounds, so the boat's about 3,000, so it's not bad at all. But when we had the Chevelle on here towing that around, and we had another engine in the passenger seat of the car and fuel up front and some stuff in the car and some stuff in the bed of the truck, it was sagging bad. So I think, if I wanted to use this to tow on a higher frequency, I think it would probably be wise of me to take a 2500 kit airbag setup and set those up on a compressed air remote kit and give the coil some relief. So with lifting your truck, you have some sacrifices. One of these things I've noticed is obviously the truck is higher. People don't think about this, but there's several pictures in this slideshow that you'll see of me struggling to get stuff in and out of the back of the truck. Has it ever inconvenienced me in any way where I couldn't put something in the back of the truck that I needed to put in the back of the truck? No. Does it take additional planning? Yes. So what does that mean? I had to find a steep hill to back up to, and it would make getting heavy stuff, ATVs, in and out of the truck super easy and just like stock. So one thing I'll leave you with is if you're thinking about lifting your Ram, I would definitely consider the Fabtech Lift Kit. Like I said, I can't speak to other brands. I'm sure that they're high quality, but I've now owned two trucks, both of which were Ram 1500s with the 6-inch Fabtech lift, and they've both been phenomenal. So I think you should ask yourself, what are your goals? So for me, does a 6-inch lift work for me? Yes. Would I prefer a 4-inch lift? No. Based on the appearance, I think stuffing those 35s under there and having the truck the way it looks and, basically have no decrease in performance that negatively affects my lifestyle, I think it works for me. Would I go any higher? Do I miss the fact that I, didn't elect to purchase an 8-inch lift? Definitely not. The truck, like I said, is great, and I think going any higher, the next offered lift kit is generally about an 8-inch lift, and that would mean 37-inch tires, and that would put a strain on everything. So I really think that this is the sweet spot for these 1500s. If you think similarly, then go ahead and leave a thumbs up or like, and comment down below what you think about this. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers so I can do this more often, and I really appreciate if you would subscribe or leave a comment on what you think. Thanks so much for watching.